Good evening, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. I apologize for the late update. We had some company over today, so I wasn't able to get to my PC until now. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on Bitcoin, what happened for the day, what to expect for tomorrow through, tonight. Um, so as far as our daily candle goes, we did open at 63,900. We made a high of 64,704, a low of 63,220, and we closed about 63,951. We only were up $51.80. Um, Again, this is it's an indecision candle, right? Definitely kind of bullish, but it's really going to depend on what price action wants to do. For myself personally, because we are staying above the 63,940, I am remaining bullish for the remainder of the week until we hit into August. Once we hit into August, um, my bias might change. I mean, we might still get some follow through over the weekend. I know that, obviously, Saturday, I believe, is August 1st, so there's a decent chance that we just kind of have a somewhat of a, continuation or at least just a consolidation period until the following week. I am going to be bearish for the upcoming week just because we're at the start of a new month. But for that being said, for right now, I am going to be bullish for the remainder of the week. We are keeping some key levels. We are not, we did close above 63,940, which was a key level. We're saying above 64,000 right now in general, so that's pretty cool. Um, as far as like the 12-hour goes, you are basically, you're kind of testing the 50 as some sort of resistance. Taking a look at the 8-hour, you're getting your moving averages tight, and this is kind of something that I mentioned within the Sin City Crypto Group. But basically, when you get these moving averages really tight, and we've talked about this, you can expect for a really big move upcoming. As long as we can eventually get that cross above the 200 MA sooner rather than later, hopefully, we got to expect that there could be a bullish move up, at least for a short time being. There's even a possibility, guys, that at the beginning of August we could get that move up. Um, at least basically the first week, even. If we get the move up for the first week, though, I am going to have more of a weary sign for bearishness. It's not going to be the greatest thing, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. We could get this cross. We could start ripping into 67.5 even, up to even 69K, and then we could lose it all by the end of August. So definitely want to see, ideally we would like to see price drop first for the beginning of August, but if it does pump, that's also a possibility that we could get a bearish candle. Taking a look at the 6-hour, we're staying above the 200. We bounced off of it, just what we want to see. Staying above some key support levels, all stuff. We hit our 63,322 that I told you guys to look out for. We kind of overtook it by about, I guess, almost $100, but we bounced back really strong from there. So ideally, this is a cup and handle, and you're going to break out from here. That's kind of what this is setting up to be, right? And then, as of course, as far as the um, 4-hour goes, you're still bouncing off of that 200. You got that bullish bounce off of the 63,322, like I said, and I'm just still expecting a move up, guys. I mean, today would have been the day for the bearish reversal if we were going to do it. But for right now, it just looks like we can start to consolidate, even start coming up maybe towards weekly open again. It's going to be very interesting to see. All right, so taking a look now at your hour, what to expect. I'm going to be expecting price to consolidate, slowly kind of move its way up and get this bullish cross over the 1 hour 200 MA. That's what I'm going to be looking for in the upcoming hours. Taking a look at the 30 minutes, so 30 minute about the same thing, getting that bullish consolidation, getting the move up, maybe making that golden cross. That's all in the cards. Um, Taking a look at the 15 minute, so the 15 minute, we are consolidating bullishly. This is all great, great news. Extremely happy with what I'm seeing in the charts. So again, this could even be a bullish pennant to eventually break out. So if you take a look here, you can kind of draw it out here. But this could possibly take you up even further, to see where will that take you to? Right about the 64,853 level. So that's kind of taking out this triple top right here. That could be definitely a high. I'm still going to be targeting the weekly opens. Not sure if we're going to get back to it, but I am still going to be bullish for the remainder of the week. Kind of have this nice inverted head and shoulders here happening as well. So all potential stuff to be able to play out, okay? All right, so that being said, let's take a look at liquidity now. So taking a look at liquidity, um, you can basically see that, we do have our areas to the downside, obviously. We have that first area around 62,000 that we've been targeting. To the upside, though, again, you have that little tiny bridge that we saw before. It's merged into the main pool. So really kind of showing you that we could get that move up into this area. Basically, I'd be targeting around 67, 261 as a base for, a potential move up if we were to get it. That's what the 4 hour is showing me for right now. To the downside, you'd be looking for a rejection of around 62,000, 61,850-ish to 62,001. Um, let's see, taking a look at the 1 hour. So the 1 hour, let's see. You've got this red liquidity right up here, taking out that triple top. So definitely a target I'm going to be eyeing for tomorrow. You have a good pool of liquidity to just continue that move up. Honestly, like once you get up into here, if you can get that golden cross, guys, on the 1 hour, it can really rip. Like we talked about. Eyeing 67.6, probably the bottom of that order block, like we've been talking about. That's kind of what I'm seeing for the hourly. Obviously to the downside, if we were to get the rollover, you're going to be testing 62.4, then dropping down to 60, 62-ish area, potentially all the way down to 61,000 even. We could possibly see this in August. I don't think we're going to see it this month. But, again, the market's going to do what it's going to do, right? I'm just going based off of probability and what I've seen in the past. Taking a look at the 15 minutes, so you do have a lot of liquidity to the upside. You have this little area right here, so we could potentially get a bounce off of the 15-minute 200 MA tonight. Just kind of keep that in mind. There's that little tiny bit of liquidity around 63,922. You do see it, I believe. Do we see it over here? Almost about. We got 64,050, so it looks like we're about to take that, and take this order right here. So that's going to be your first area of a potential bounce. It could be a good long entry. Again, high risk though. We are getting closer to the end of the week. Never financial advice, so do what you want with that information. Taking a look at the 50x, you can see that this does show that we can really get that move to the upside. Personally, would be targeting, at least 64.8 first, taking out this triple top. But again, if we get above that 1 hour, guys, that's going to be crucial, and that's also going to lead to the 8 hour 200 cross as well as the 10 hour. You can start seeing those higher prices. 67.5, 67.6 is what we would be targeting if we were to get that move up. All right, so that is what I am seeing for now for liquidity. Taking a real quick look at our order book. About to take out this order right here. We do have a potential move to the downside right around 63,375. Even down to about 62,875. If it wanted to continue the move down, it could. I don't see that happening, as probability wise, as basically a potential move. It could happen, but probability wise, it's saying it won't. There's a lot more, orders to the upside. There's a lot more potential that we could start taking these out. So, I'm targeting for right now, probably, up into this area, 66.5, just basically a slow grind up for the remainder of the week is what I want to see. We could get a violent move up, but I am expecting it because it's low volume to get a very slow move and gradual move up, even into the weekend. All right, so, obviously a lot more orders to the upside, great sign. Everything's still looking bullish for the most part. Let's take a look at the simple map finally, see what that's doing. All right, so taking a look at the simple map here, you can see that we do have some orders right above us to the upside. I would say you'd probably have to get through about 64.5 to continue that move up to, and then you'd hit resistance around 64,740. Again, those are some numbers that we've been eyeing. When you get above there, though, you can kind of have an easy time until about 65,340 and 65,430, it looks like, and even moving up from there. To the downside, I would be targeting around 63,390 for a possible bounce if we were to keep moving down, 63,270, and potentially all the way down to 62,940 for liquidity. So that's kind of, those are some areas I'd be eyeing on the simple map as far as, volume goes and liquidity. Your swing time frames are kind of showing that same idea. You got that potential at 64,500. You get above there. You got to test 64,770 right around there. You can get that follow through, get all the way up to about 65,340 potentially, and then go up from there. Really is going to depend on how violent this move wants to get. To the downside, you're looking at about 63,270 as a potential, and then again at 62,940 as a potential support zone. So couple levels to the downside, couple levels to the upside for you guys. Not any sort of major movement within the couple $1,000 range this area. That's what I'm seeing so far for Bitcoin, though, guys. I hope you had a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all in the morning. Take care.